Alright guys, how's it going? Eastbayanglers. We're out here talking bass fishing today. We're talking specifically about what's the best chatterbait rod, on the market. Okay, let's talk about not only the best chatterbait rod on the market, but we're going to break down the more affordable rods that still get the job done and kind of give you guys different price points depending on what you have available fund-wise to invest in your rods. So let's get started really quick. Chatterbait rods. What kind of rod are you looking for? It's potentially, it's possible that you don't need to buy a rod. So this is the kind of rod you're going to look for. You're going to look for a rod that from that first eye on the bottom all the way to the top, that there's some give. You want a rod that's going to load up from that first eye to the top. Most of the time, that's going to be a crankbait rod. That's going to be a CBR model. A lot of times you're going to have other rods that you can get away with things. So as far as, the best on the market, let's talk about the Dobyns Champion XP Glass 7.3 6 power. So that's a 7 foot 3 inch 6 power, and that's a glass rod. Now, one of the things about glass that I really like is it absorbs. So if you're doing medium deep diving crankbaits, if you're throwing chatterbaits, this is going to absorb a lot of that, and that's why I throw glass rods when I'm chatterbait fishing. Now that rod I want to say is like 260 or 250-ish. But so people will say, oh, that's one of the better ones on the market and the price point's great. But some people, they're going to want to spend more, and they're going to be able to spend as much as a chatterbait rod out there by Megabass that's like 600 or 550. So, if you want to spend more, there's other rods out there to get, but you don't need to. As far as, I don't want to spend that much, get yourself like one of those baseline $79,999. Like a Dobyns Fury line, the Caden series, and, get yourself one of those rods in, get one of the glass models, a 705, 704 CBR, CB. Get the, if you can get the 734 or the 735 or 736 in the CB or CBR glass, really good rod to have to throw that chatterbait. So necessarily it's not all about, certain rods are going to be lighter, they're going to cost more. Certain rods are going to have, they're going to say more sensitivity. Well, if it's going to load up, it's going to load up. So really you're talking about, how it feels in your hands. The guides might be different, but that's not really a big thing. You're talking about the lightweight feel, really, and the look, the new paint job. No. But you can get away with a lot of different rods throwing the chatterbait. Thing is, like I said, you want one that's going to absorb a lot of those, vibrations, because eventually that's going to wear you down. That's just going to wear down your body. And the more your body, maybe it's already worn down. Maybe you're older. Maybe you have issues physically, maybe disability. Maybe you have pain. Maybe, limitations. So all these things to consider. You want to be able to throw your baits all day. You want to be able to throw them with ease. I found that it's almost effortless, with a 705 CB glass rod. I use a Powell Inferno. It was $79.99 when it came out, and I bought it and I got 10% off. That was a long time ago. I don't know, 8 years. Feels like something like that. Picked that rod up for about $72 out the door. And I've, used a lot of rods, and I have the 736 for the Dobbins, the glass as well. But I just found that rod, I've got a real accustomed to the feel and everything else, and I don't really need to use that other rod. I can if I want, but it's not necessary. So I hope this video helps. You guys are looking for a chatterbait rod. You guys really look for those glass rods. Look for the CB, the CBRs, and don't pay too much attention to price and brand, but also try not to go under $79.99 for a rod. So I really hope this helps, guys. Stay tuned, catch fish, tight lines.